communication barriers of oneself, right? To allow you to start working on balance. Everybody is different because everybody deal with a lot of different vibrations, and depending on where you start, only you really know that. I like to say it's information that people see, that everybody can see from their own point of view, and it's other information that affects people that only you see, that you only take from a certain point of view of what you understand. And to start dealing with balance, the the contrast to it is when people see, because of understanding, they see that you need balance. So when they see that you need balance, they seek to push you off balance with false relatives of love. What do I mean by this? Everybody believes for you to search outside of yourself to solve something that's deep inside of yourself that only you have the reference for. So then you take that and you take it to somebody or some circumstance and you discuss that with them, i.e., a therapist, somebody who's not even in, they're on the outside of that way of thinking. They're on the outside of that spirituality, on the outside of that knowing of the inside connection. NAGA. Most people run to these separations and then they search or seek to solve what's going on with them. I always say your answers are in the problem that you speak. So what did I put all that into a paragraph for? Simply put, you are your own student and your own teacher. You're everything for yourself. And that only applies to how much you put that work into that particular energy that you want to expose on you. So if I'm dealing with balance, only me, I can speak from the existence of what I experienced. And then I give that to the divine to make it clear. Once I sit still for a while within that experience, the clarity of what I understand of the circumstance, opposed to how I want it to feel, or how I want to expose that energy from how it took place to me, divided by the retrospect of what divine wants me to do and feel, equates to a different value every time. And it's humbling. It's very humbling to alleviate yourself in circumstances. I can be a warrior, you know what I'm saying, but it takes a lot to exert certain energies. So I choose to be a warrior for the spirituality. I chose to be a warrior to fight for what divine gave me, and I had to work on that with myself first. Thus, the understanding of certain things needed, like balance. Most of the time, we don't put the effort into certain things like we need to, because the capability of how we understand it. Well, when I came into existence, I like everything concentrated. You know what I'm saying? I had to be told you can't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have the actual fruit than the juice that's mixed with water and sugar. You got to put love in the food for me to want to eat. I'll eat some normal shit, but it don't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Eventually I start feeling like I'm putting something in me that don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it, telling myself it's food. I know what food is. I cook. You know what I'm saying? To balance out the understanding of what's outside in the world opposed to what you need for yourself is understanding your characteristics in oneself. First, understanding the ideology of addiction to all your characters or your senses, your eyes, your mouth, your hearing, your touch. That's always going to keep us out of balance. We don't understand that it's everything innate in us is crossbred to the reaction of something. This is the reason for incremental science. I'm waiting to get, if I can get a poster board or something I can put right here, you know what I'm saying, and without drawing on the wall, you know what I'm saying, I put something right here. Then I want to show y'all. I'm gonna do like a graph, and the I'm gonna create a small class for incremental science, and I'm gonna draw it up, and I'm gonna show you what I mean with incremental science. I'm just gonna do it. Like Divine told me, don't worry about it. Put it out. You know what I'm saying? Put the work in. So I got to get me a poster board. You know what I'm saying? So I can draw it up and then show you. You know what I mean? In particulars that you can take with yourself. So that day I do this, just be prepared, have a notepad and take notes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get deep that day, but I'll let y'all know when I'm gonna do it. I got to get a poster board. When I get a chance to do that, then I'm gonna go ahead and put that work in for y'all. That'll be the incremental science video. So yeah, I decided I'm gonna bring it to you. So hold tight. Um, yeah. So balance is particular. You gotta balance out everything about you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just balance out the flesh without balancing out the spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't balance out your characteristics without understanding your addictions. You know what I'm saying? You can't balance out nobody else until you fix yourself. You know what I mean? Like, so I got tons and tons and tons of videos up here that speaks on all types of values. And if you go to my very start, I'm talking divine from the start all the way to now. So each video that I'm putting out is to a particular energy that I might be encountering or dealing with or had to deal with, you know what I'm saying? Or giving energy to somebody else. So it's always something in the knowledge that I put out from start to finish. You know what I mean? There might be some hip hop in there somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Some knowledge, rap, you know what I mean? I'll be dropping a few bars or whatever. But balancing out yourself and knowing your lane is important. You know what I mean? We go through these things and then we want to take on more than what our lane can hold, the capacity of the elevator. Like you can't put all that on there because your elevator ain't the same. Your road ain't the same. You know what I mean? So we don't be understanding that by the things we go through. And because we don't see that, you know what I mean, lack thereof of the true understanding, we end up taking on things that's not really for you. And there's no reason to feel indifferent about what's not for you. You know what I'm saying? That's how the world teach you or trick you into getting into other things like, oh, you ain't big enough or you ain't this. I don't care. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. If that ain't for me, there's something out there for me though. And that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you can't get your characteristics mixed up into certain values where somebody is not or something is not or a circumstance can't or this isn't or this won't. These things are indifference. They're showing you how your magnetic energy repels from it. If I take two magnets and I put them on one side, flip it the other side, they come together. If I flip them on the other side, they push apart. I'm not gonna say, oh, stupid magnet, you don't like that magnet now. Like this is the problem with the world. Like we get mixed up in the wrong understanding, the wrong processes. You know what I mean? Like one thing ain't got nothing to do with the next. You know what I mean? That's the reality. One thing ain't got nothing to do with the next. You gotta line all that up. You know what I mean? If you're gonna speak about it, get your mind out of being jumbled and put your Jones in priority. That's you understanding self. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be easy because yourself is going to fight against you. It's going to put you in mentalities to not make you want to do that. It's like a obese person. It's hard for them to lose weight because their body is used to being obese. It's used to eating things that's going to help it produce fat. So now when you say, all right, now I want to lose it, it's going to fight against you because it's used to that. It's built up all the enzymes for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same process with anything else. The universe sends you the same problem that you want to get away from to see if you really want to change from that. That's the only way they can know because they don't speak our language. They don't speak our vibration. You know what I'm saying? When the vibration hits us, we're a jewel. When it hits us, it transmutes through us in a different way, controlled by the aspect of how we interpret things. And this is what throws our balance off whack. And people notice, they study this. So they watch the energies come in, they put other information on it when it hits you, and when it goes through the jewel, you are reprocessed. Facts. That's why I said I'm gonna do that incremental science video, yo, and it's gonna be ill. I just gotta get me a poster board so I can write it up because I don't know how I'm gonna show y'all. You know what I mean? I can talk you to death. You know what I mean? But I'd rather just show you. You already know the vibes. I ain't gonna hold y'all, you know what I mean? But I hope this was informative, you know what I mean, for somebody You know what I mean? You already know the vibes, man. Balance. Get your balance right. You know what I mean? Love yourself first so you can love others better. NAGA.